Barcelona Lighthouse. Check it out. There's Lake Erie. Wow. See, once in a while I see vineyards here. They have vineyards. It looks like. Look at that.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Hey everybody, it's Dave here. Thank you for joining along with my Great Lakes Seaway Trail ride-along. As we do this ride-along, I'm going to take you through Barcelona, a little town of Barcelona, then Dunkirk, which is a little bit bigger, and finally Silver Creek. This is not the old trail. We started it from Shortman Road right here, which comes off the 90. If we continued on the 90, it would turn into a toll road. Now, if you're trying to get to Buffalo faster, take the toll road. But if you want to get the scenic route and you want to see some really beautiful things and enjoy the lake and some things that are along the way, then take this route. I highly recommend it. You're going to see some RV campgrounds along the way, nice parks. There are also vineyards and some old historic lighthouses that you can also spend some time exploring. We didn't find out about a lot of these things until after we came up and down this road a couple times. We did come back this way and explore some of those campgrounds, so I'll do some videos on a couple of the campgrounds that we missed on the way up. We were just trying to get to Hamburg as fast as we could so we'd get our son settled in his apartment and stuff. So we really didn't stop and take a lot of time to explore everything, but on the way back we did. And there's some really nice parks here. There's Lake Erie State Park, which has a nice campground, and we'll come back to that and explore that one. There's also a nice KOA up here that you'll see as we pass by. And there's some smaller little community RV parks that are kind of along the way. There's also some nice beaches that you can go to for the day. We're going to come back and explore a couple of those too. I'll do videos on those. Also, Evangola State Park Campground. We're going to come back and explore that one because that one's the closest to where our son will be living. And so we do want to come back and to that place. And it's also reservable through recreation.gov, I believe it is, or recreation. Yeah, I'll put the website link on here so you can find it later on. We just found that out on the way out. So we'll do a video on each of those. But it's truly beautiful. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And once in a while, I'll come in and kind of explain some of the sights along the way. And coming up here on the right side is a campground that we explored on the way back also. This is Westfield KOA. Really nice little KOA. We've got lots of spaces in there with hookups and everything. And we're going to kind of explore some of these, because when we come back in a year or two, we want to be able to have some places that we can camp in our motorhome. And that was a really nice little campground right there, Westfield KOA. And we'll do a video on that and put the rates on there. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm adding some music in the background. The music that you're hearing in the background is some of my original music. You can find this music on Digital Doxology YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out. These are all original tunes that I've created. Some are kind of jazzy, some are kind of classical or new instrumental, they call it. So if you enjoyed that kind of music, please check out my other music channel on Digital Doxology on YouTube. I'll put links before that. But we're going to continue on, let you sit back and relax and then just enjoy the ride, because it is really a beautiful ride. As we continue from Barcelona, next stop will be Dunkirk, coming up in just a few minutes. Everybody, I hope you're enjoying this so far. I've been adding some different kinds of music to kind of play in the background for you. Some of them were spiritual tunes that I created myself that are also on my website, but some of them were more jazzy tunes and kind of classical tunes, instrumental music. Coming up soon, we're going to be driving into the town of Dunkirk, New York. And incidentally, when I saw this name, first thing I thought of was Dunkirk in Europe, in France. And actually, this town was named back in the 1800s. It was named after the famous city in France, Dunkirk, New York. Population 12,500. So it's a pretty good sized community, probably about larger than Wickenburg and some of the places in Arizona that we have. Just a nice little quiet community. There's a lighthouse here at the end of where the power plant is. I didn't get a chance to do a picture of the lighthouse, but like I said, these are so many things that as we come back here in the future, I want to explore. There's a beach here in Dunkirk that you can go and for the day walk down to the beach, walk your dogs. A lot of these towns are dog friendly. You can walk your dogs along the park and stuff. You can't always take your dogs onto the beach, but you can walk along the beaches and take them for walks and stuff in the community areas. They're pretty pet friendly in that way. They just don't allow dogs on the beach. In fact, I also found out that it's a state law that beaches aren't allowed to have swimmers on the beach unless they have lifeguards on duty. I'm not sure if that's every community along the beach, along the lake here, but I just did see that, notice that. So sometimes you won't always see people on the beaches unless they have lifeguards somehow, or lifeguard stations along the beach. And there are some beaches that we will come back and explore as we come back down. There are some places that have beaches where you can go to for the day and get in the water. And you would think the water would be warm or cold, right? But surprisingly, the water was actually warm. We got in the water, and I think the temperature of the lake was like 77 degrees, 75 degrees. It just was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. It was almost like my hot tub. It wasn't quite that warm, but it was warmer than I expected. This is the old power plant, Dunkirk Power Station, that's been deactivated. And I was reading up on this power station. It's currently shut down, but they're contemplating either converting it to natural gas or just leveling the whole thing completely. And there's even been talk of building a nuclear power station there. So kind of interesting developments there in Dunkirk. I guess when they shut the power plant down, it really affected the community because it was a big part of the whole community when they shut the power plant down. So it's kind of interesting things to check on. There's that little park by the beach right there that you can walk your dog in, right in the town. So I'm going to play some more music for you and let you enjoy the rest of this. Sit back, relax. Hope you enjoyed the music. And like I said before, if you want to check out some of the music that I'm playing, look down below and I'll put links below so you can go to my YouTube station where I have all my music that I write for this. A lot of the music that I use in the background is my original music. Enjoy. I'll keep it going. Well, hey everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this ride-along video. I know there's some folks that really enjoy these kind of videos. We're going to be taking you next and lastly to the village of Silver Creek, population 2,400, at the end of our ride here. And believe me, there is much more to the trail than what I covered. This is only about 40 minutes of the drive. But there's so much more. It's about a 500-mile long trail along the seacoast. And if you ever get out here, if you're from the area, you probably know just what it's like. But if you're not from this area and you ever do get out here, I highly recommend it. Take your time and enjoy this ride because there's so much more that we didn't even do. And this is the little town of Silver Creek, which actually, if we get up here to the intersection, I didn't know this at the time, but if we'd have turned left, it would have continued on the 5, which would have taken us on the Seacoast Trail. Now, we did continue on the 20, which kind of is figured into the Seaway Trail also. But to really get the ultimate experience, you want to stay close to the shoreline, which the 5 takes you a lot of times, takes you up along the coast. And incidentally, that 5 does go all the way up to Niagara Falls, just about, although it does change into different roads along the way. So like I said, left turn takes you on into the trail. So we got more things planned to do as we venture around and explore Buffalo and Hamburg area. And I'm just going to say as we close here, safe travels wherever you're going. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video and you really liked it, please hit the like button. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the little bell so you'll be notified as I put out more videos. And I do have more videos coming up on this area because we were here for about a week and we explored around, went to Niagara Falls, and also came back and explored some of those campgrounds. Have a great day. Catch you later. Bye.